These dandelion greens, probably the closest thing I could show you to look at what our ancestors ate for greens. These are a great source of glutathione, which we'll talk more about when we look at detoxification. An incredible source of magnesium, very nutrient dense. Certainly the lacinato kale that you see on the left and the collard greens on the right are also examples as brassicas, or members of the brassica family, also excellent examples of very, very nutrient dense vegetables that our ancestors have or have had. And these lettuces, which are the greens that most people eat in the developed world, these lettuces really don't have the medicinal value or the nutrient density that those other greens have. And they also are the result of breeding practices and our attempt to manipulate food for less bitterness and for a more, I guess, bland or palate foundation for a plate. And I think this is shifting. I mean, now you've seen a trend towards greens which have more flavor on their own in the past 4 or 5 years, and from the farmers that I've talked with, the demand is there. So this is information I know many of you are at least somewhat familiar with, and I think there are signs that we do want to get back to a more ancestral way of living and try to reconnect with more of those foods that played a role in early human life. This is extra virgin olive oil, right after it comes out of the press. And if you know anything about extra virgin olive oil, it is only mechanically pressed. There's no heat involved. The chemical solvent and petroleum derivative hexane is not used in pulling this oil out of the olive pulp. It's simply mechanically pressed in an age-old fashion, which is beautiful and leaves us with one of the only oils that you're going to buy in any grocery store, on any grocery store shelf, that's truly going to be raw.